What's going on, everybody? Sigourney Jackson here with another episode of Who Politics. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell to stay up to date on everything that is Who Politics. We are back with another video. On this one, we're going to be talking about Draymond Green and his most recent rant, talking about the treatment of NBA players when it comes to ownership as well as organizations. So for anybody who doesn't know, Draymond Green, who plays for the Golden State Warriors, recently just played against the Cleveland Cavaliers the other night, and he noticed that Andre Drummond, who recently just got put on the trade block, was told to go back into the locker room, and he was sat back outside in his street clothes on the bench because they were talking about trading him. According to Draymond, the problem isn't necessarily that he's getting traded. It's the fact that he is sat out on the bench in his street clothes, and it's easy for an organization to pop out and say, we're looking to trade somebody, but then they'll kill people like James Harden, who will come out and say that they want to be traded. When players do what organizations do, the organizations don't like it, and they try to find ways to find them, to shame them, to try to publicly humiliate them and make them seem like they are cancers to teams, for one, and so they can't get their way in two, and so even if they do, their trade value isn't the same, they're not going to get paid as much, among many other things. Anthony Davis dealt with this when he got fined money for asking for a trade from the New Orleans Pelicans, among other players who have done this as well. But let me explain to you guys the politics of this situation. First and foremost, Draymond Green is absolutely right about everything he's saying. I have no arguments, I have no judgment. He is right. This is the politics of the situation. First and foremost, the only reason Draymond can say this is because he's Draymond Green. If any other player said this, if Jordan Poole said this, if Nico Mannion said this, a player who has not been in the league a while, who doesn't have a name, who doesn't have a brand, who hasn't already made his money and has made him a clear-cut NBA basketball player who is going to be in the league for a long time, those guys would have got traded, they would have got kicked out of the league, they'd be in the G League somewhere, and eventually they'd be overseas eating squid meat. So first we have to look at the fact that many times when it comes to these players, these organizations, a lot of times what you're allowed to do and say is based on who you are and what you've already done in the league. Andre Drummond is getting treated poorly like this because Andre Drummond isn't the superstar caliber player that Kyrie Irving is, or James Harden, or Anthony Davis is. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to get ridiculed as well, but it only goes so far. People kill Kyrie Irving for asking for time away for mental health reasons, just like how Draymond said, but nobody was talking about trading him really or getting rid of him like that because that's still Kyrie Irving. His leverage is still high. He's still a superstar in the league. James Harden as well, who wanted to get traded from the Houston Rockets, obviously killed the entire time. He was talked about as being a cancer. He can't play defense. He can't do this. He can't do that. They try to bring up all these bad things about him, but it still didn't change the fact of he wanted to go to a different team. What's wrong with that? The answer is nothing's wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with players wanting to do what's best for them and take time away for mental illness, go and get traded to other teams, be in better situations. The problem is that organizations don't like when they get things done to them that they do to other people. That's ultimately what it comes down to. It's just like people. The thing that you hate the most, you probably do to other people. Oh, I can't stand a liar. And you probably lie a lot. I can't stand when people talk to me crazy, but you probably have a crazy mouth as well. People don't like when you do the things to them that you regularly do to other people. So now that I've cleared that all up, Draymond is right. Players should be able to do what they want. This is the other side to that. They're the owners. And y'all are the players. And nobody wants to hear that because everybody wants to feel like, oh, I have the freedom to do what I want. I have the right to do what I want. And you do. But you don't have the right to do these things when you are being paid by somebody else. This is why I constantly tell players of all levels, NBA, college, whoever it is, look, do what is best for you, because one day your value is not going to be what it is today, and organizations, college basketball coaches, NBA organizations, high school coaches are going to treat you as such. Stop falling in love with these organizations and thinking that, oh, they have my best interests at heart and we love each other and we're gung-ho for each other and all that stuff. That's not how it works. They see you as a dollar sign. They see you as somebody who can help their organization. They see you as somebody who can help their college program or whatever it is. And as soon as you no longer show that value that they see, they are going to treat you as such. Whether that means put you on the bench and bring somebody else in to play ahead of you, whether that means trading you, whether that means releasing you from your scholarship and saying you got to go somewhere else, they are going to do what's best for them, because basketball, sports, life is a business. And you as a player have to treat this like a business as well. That's why I love players like LeBron James so much. LeBron off the court, he treats it like a business. I'm going to take control of my leverage, and I'm going to do what I have to do and force my will of what I want on and off the court. Players have to take the same approach, but you have to know the leverage you have and use it accordingly. Everybody doesn't have LeBron James leverage. Everybody doesn't have Draymond Green leverage. You have to know what your leverage is, just like we talked about with Kevin Porter Jr. in the last video. Know your leverage. When you know your leverage, then you have to use it as such to get what you want. These are regular business tactics. When a company owns most of the market share, they do what they want and they manipulate the market, and so they can get all the money. No different. If you are a basketball player who's averaging 30, 40, 50, whatever it is you're doing, if you're winning championships and you have the say-so to where when I decide that I want to leave, I'll be fine no matter what, you have to know when to use that. And if you don't have it, you play the game, whether that be listening to your coach, whether that be, being a good guy, being professional, staying in shape, come in early, leave late. You do what you have to do to build your leverage up, and once you have it, you have to do what's best for you as well. This is an unpopular opinion. A lot of coaches, a lot of organizations probably will disagree with me, but I'm here to talk for the players. Players, do what's best for you at the end of the day. You only have a small window of time for you to be able to make money, get scholarships, travel the world, whatever it is that you want out of basketball. And you have to do what's best. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out here and be an asshole. I'm not saying that you have to go out here and talk to coaches crazy, talk to people crazy, treat them any type of way you want. I'm not saying anything like that. That's being a bad person. Don't do that. But what I am saying is, don't feel bad about doing what's best for you at the end of the day. If you don't want to be at that college no more, leave. Leave knowing that you have other options. Don't leave just to leave on a whim of saying, I'm going to do what I want if you have nothing else lined up. That's where leverage comes in. But if you don't want to be at that college, leave. If you don't like that coach, leave. And don't be ashamed about it, because they're going to do what's best for them as well. And if you do what's best for you, they're going to always try to find a reason to say why you're trash, why you're selfish, why you're a cancer to the team. Don't worry about that, because there are college coaches out there, there are NBA coaches, there are executives, GMs, owners who can see through the BS and know that you actually are a good dude, and a lot of the stuff that these other people are saying about you are lies. So that's all I got. I know that was like a super long rant, but I have to get that out. Draymond is absolutely right about what he's saying. NBA players and players all across the world need to do what's best for them, and you have to know your leverage, because at the end of the day, you are the worker and they are the bosses. But once you get to a point where you have the leverage, you have to do what you have to do in order to get what you want. And really, really quick, and I'm not going to touch on it too much because that's another topic for another day. A lot of y'all killed Kyrie Irving a couple of months ago when he said, we can make our own league. And if they did, we wouldn't be having a lot of these conversations we're having now. Just throwing that out there. Some of y'all killed him, but now he looks a lot smarter than what y'all gave him before. That's all. Anyway, make sure that y'all like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow the Instagram and the Twitter at hoop_politics. Comment below if y'all like this video, and if you don't, then just share it anyways. I don't really care. And always remember, God's always control. Peace.